You'll never take down my Gimme deck. I accept your duel. Prepare to feel the crushing fury of the ocean. So we're gonna go ahead and take on Mako Tsunami right away with no delay. I'm gonna go second, because obviously that's the best, because you get to attack. Let's go ahead and see. I don't think Tornado Wall and stuff is available, but then again, it was available in Eternal. No, not Eternal. Stairway to the Desert Duel, so you might have those shenanigans. They don't really have as great decks as they did in, for example, Eternal Due to Soul. It's more like Stairway to the Desert Duel, where they have random cards in their deck to sort of, I guess, balance it out. I'm not sure. They do in general. I feel like the difficulty in this game is way up from the start than any of the other Yu-Gi-Oh games. I feel like Eternal Duel is the easiest. Stairway to the Destin's Duel is probably a little harder than Eternal Duel Soul, but for the most part, this game's a lot harder. I think that's probably just because, you know, they have a lot more vicious spell and trap cards than they used to. Don't really have anything useful. Yeah, all I can really do is just summon this and just leave him out there, quite honestly. Yeah, I feel like it's just that they just have stronger cards. The AI is a little bit better, but not really the best. You know, it's not much to say you're better than you know, Eternal Due to Soul or Stairway to the Destined Duel, where they were kind of basic. If anything, they just kind of, their main strengths is that they cheated. Often the higher tier duelists, they would just kind of cheat and know what cards you had face down, so they wouldn't attack and stuff like that. This man set 2 7 Tools of the Bandit. 2 of them. Wow. Guess I'm not activating my shit. Alright, I guess I'll just have to. I hate summoning the Fiend Mega Cyber normally. He has an effect you can special summon it. So obviously I would want to do that, but it's so lame to have to do it by normal summoning. But in any case, I don't know exactly what theme it is I'll pick up for the next deck that I build. I've been trying to. I wasn't sure how plausible it was going to be, but I'm probably going to end up doing this. I'm going to have to just make a different deck for every tournament that I'm in. I figured that would be a pretty good way to balance things out, make things nice and fresh. So far, I've used this sort of simple starter LP manipulation deck. There's not really much to it, because so far all we've done is a basic simple tournament, right? Whereas next, we'll probably make something a lot more complicated. It's a weekend tournament, so I don't know. I think this thing makes me skip my draw phase. Yeah. Thank God, at the very least, I had Gearfried here. I thought it was only when it inflicted damage, but I guess whenever it battles and destroys a monster, maybe that's when it can activate that effect. I was always surprised that that card never really, as far as I know, really got sort of far, or like, you know, I didn't really see it in a lot of play. Yeah, if it destroys and battles an opponent's monster, I guess because it has a great effect and all, and you can lock your opponent down, but it just really doesn't have the stats for it. Plus, it does let you special summon itself, which is good. So I don't know, it just seems like a really good card that I feel is kind of wasted. Man, it's almost like I should probably do that. Maybe I'll make some sort of weird Fafnir lockdown deck. No, I don't have Fafnir, but that would be interesting. What's he got? Magic Gem. All right, that's fine. Sucks. I wanted to use Giant Tuna to get rid of that card. It would have been pretty funny if I did. Do I want to pay? No. Because you probably would have ended up using its effect to negate it, even though it would have been pointless in the end. But let's go ahead and just finish up with this guy here. I've been on a. I'm surprised I really haven't gotten sort of. What's the word? Burnout with Yu-Gi-Oh lately, because I've been really into Yu-Gi-Oh lately. You know, between. I just finished up Sacred Cards, and I immediately was looking at what Yu-Gi-Oh game I'd play next, and now I'm doing 7 Trials of Glory. I've been watching the UX. What the fuck? I've been watching the anime. I've been watching Arc 5 I've been playing Duel Links pretty much religiously throughout all of my day. Like, if I'm not recording, if I'm not doing, you know, eating, sleeping, recording, working, doing any of that other stuff, doing with the girlfriend, there's a 99% chance that I'm playing Duel Links. Maybe I'm doing something else, but I'm also probably doing Duel Links at the same time. I need to get rid of Gilfried in his deck. He does not work out. I would have won the duel by now if I could have just equipped him with Big Bang Shot. But instead, he wants to be a jerk and not let himself get equipped with stuff. But yeah, I'm surprised I really haven't gotten burned out. I even got to the point where I'm streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links pretty regularly. I've constantly, my Twitter is just full of just Duel Links spules of me talking about new cards or packs that I opened, or just interesting things that I find in cards, or whatever the case may be. It's just, I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been a part of my life ever since that fateful day I was at my grandma's house and I saw the first episode air on Channel 11, I believe it was, whatever, the WB channel, which is now, I guess, Pix. Ever since that day, I've just been absorbed with it so much, so I guess I can't really be surprised. It's kind of dying down, in the last maybe... before Duel Links, it was pretty dead, just because, like, I was really not interested in buying cards anymore. All of my other friends that I used to play with, they don't play at all anymore. And I mean, I don't really blame them. They were already dying down once Exceeds started coming out, because they didn't like Synchros, but they kind of put up with it. Then Exceeds, they were like, alright, fuck this shit. I was always like, come on, man, just give it a shot. And they're like, nah, fuck it. And I was like, fine, whatever. Really only had, like, one or two other people to duel with after that. And then once Pendulum came out, I just thought it was horseshit. I still to this day think Pendulum is stupid and it ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! Granted, a lot of other things ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! But I feel like Pendulum definitely was not a step in the right direction. But then, yeah, after that, I just really didn't do anything. And then Duel Links came out. And I started playing sometime in April of 2017. And then I've just slowly gotten really into it. I started rewatching GX. I mustered up to start watching Arc 5. I started making Duel Links content. I've been more invested in my, Let's Plays of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, all this stuff. But yeah, Pendulum Summon, man, I really hate that shit. Like I get it. It's an interesting mechanic, and I really like the Arc 5 series. I like how everything's playing out and whatnot, but I hate how broken they make Pendulum Summon. If you don't know what Pendulum Summoning is, it's a new form of summoning that came out 2014 or something like that. Basically, what it is that you have to set two monsters. They usually have different zones. They made their own zones for these monsters. But in an effort to balance the game, they've restricted it down to your spell and trap zone. But basically what it would be, you'd set two different monsters. They'd have their own pendulum scale, which is, I guess you can think of it as a different level. Basically, what this pendulum scale dictates is the range of numbers that you can special summon from. Because pendulum summoning, in essence, just lets you special summon. So when you go ahead and you summon, when you go ahead and you set your pendulum monsters, that's the ones that have the pendulum scale, they're pendulum monsters. When you set them in the pendulum zones, you can summon monsters whose levels are in between the two numbers of their zone. So for example, if I have a monster that's pendulum scale is 1, and then my other monster's pendulum scale is 5, I can only summon monsters between 1 and 5. Not 1 and 5 level monsters, but between 1 and 5. So 2, 3, and 4, and etc. etc. It's a pretty cool concept. It helps out a lot of mechanics, especially helps the hell out of Exceeds, because you can easily bring out your level 8 monsters or high level monsters and exceed into them. So it really helps Exceeds out. So that's cool for them, I guess. But in general, it just seems pretty dumb and broken, because you can just constantly just summon monsters like crazy. The only real caveat to it is that you start with 6 cards in your hand. If you set 2 monsters to pendulum summon, that leaves you with 4 cards that you can pendulum summon. You can do a lot with 4 cards, but at the very least, you know, that's the only real limitation I can think of. Because the other thing that pisses me off about pendulum, the main thing that pisses me off about it, is that when pendulum, or rather when monsters that are pendulum summoned are destroyed, they go to the top of your extra deck. They don't go to the graveyard. And then your next turn, you can actually just pendulum summon them again. You can only pendulum summon once per turn, but you can just summon them again. I just find that part to be unnecessary. Like, if they didn't have that, they could have made it. What in what I wish it would have done, it would have been that it goes on top of your extra deck and it's just gone. Like, it's like the new type of banish. Like, it's just completely inaccessible. You can't even use your extra deck anymore. Like, that would have been cool. Like, if it's destroyed. Not if it goes to the graveyard from, like, overlaying, like an overlay unit or, like, any of that kind of stuff. If it just gets destroyed by battle or by card effect, goes to the top of your extra deck is fucked. You can't access any of those monsters ever again. You can't use, you know, they're not treated as banished, so you can't bring them back. That would have been better. That would have balanced out the game hella more. Then you can summon all the monsters you want from your hand, and then in addition, if they're destroyed, you can summon them again. That is just bananas to me. But in any case, we have the weekend tournament coming up pretty soon. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to buy some cards. I'm going to buy a butt ton of cards. And then next time, I'll just have a new deck for us to play with. Stay fresh.